This is the stock market pre-market prep. I trade the S&P futures market. This is my technical analysis pre-market prep video where I let you see areas of interest for long and short trades. I also provide levels I will be looking at during the day for scalp trades, which are the blue lines on my charts. Subscribe and hit the notification to get alerted for the chart review video at the end of the day to see the results. Good morning. This is the chart review for 5/4/2019, Tuesday. Let's go over the weekly chart real quick. Last night, in last night's video, basically we were all the way down on this volume node right here. This arrow was, basically what I had drawn in Monday morning, predicting this path for this week right here, and you can see that it's starting to play out. They've already started to move this market like 20 something points up at this point. This area is pretty thin up here, so if they can get up above this volume node this morning, you could see a pretty fast rise all the way back up into the 2880 area, which is the bottom of this weekly candle right here. Let's take a look daily. So you can see the range based off of the ATR. The ATR is up to 38.78 right now, so a lot of range capable during the day. So the top of the range here is at 68, and the bottom range is down here at 27.88. You can see that the market's pulling back just a slight little bit, but we're still up from the low this morning. So this is all pre-market for today, and you can see that basically what we're doing is we're bouncing off of this volume node right here currently and getting a slight pullback. I believe that they'll actually get this up and above this volume node pre-market. I talked about that in yesterday's chart review video. Check that out if you want to. And again, this is a lot less volume through here, so you're going to get some pretty fast moves. I think today you're going to get a monster up move if they can get it up over this level right here. Anything else? Downside, we're looking at just a kind of a step down a little bit to this volume node. If you were to get into here, you can see that big old gap of volume right here, so I would think that you would be maybe across the top of this, which would be 58, but that's a big move. Of course, we've been exceeding the extremes the last couple days, so I mean anything's possible, but like I said, that'd be a pretty big move to make it all the way back down there. 240 minute for the trend line people out there. I thought this was kind of an interesting little trend line. Two touches right there, a touch right here. We hit it and we're bouncing off. I'm not a trend line trader, so I used to draw tons and tons of trend lines, and I realized that they really don't have very good predictive power or good trade location. It's all about the horizontal volume at this point in my trading career here. So you can see we've got just this big node of volume right here that it's coming up to. It's testing it, pulling off right now. It's going to easily probably find support back down here at this blue line if it were to even sell that far. I don't think they'll let it. And then we'll probably go up and test the top of this, which probably matches up at the bottom of that guy, and we could travel pretty quick through here, get a bounce off of here, travel up, touch the top of this one, get a bounce back, and then maybe keep on going at that point. And you're looking at pretty much up here as the stopping place if it really kind of plays out how I'm predicting today. You can see basically the symmetry in the market here. I've kind of marked it off, and you've got this big volume node, and we just talked about that, and that lines up perfectly with these levels. So that'd be at 100% range extension right now. So if it gets up above that node, you'll get 100% range extension right up to the top of this, and you can see this opposing pivot right there. So if you were to actually hit this, I would probably short that and feel pretty confident about getting some kind of a couple points out of that. Intraday, you can see a huge fast move on, like, this is 5,000, so just 5,000 contracts gave them almost 23 points. That's pretty good for bang for your buck right there. Talked about it last night that they had to get up over this amount of volume. The delta down here on the bottom, very positive for such a negative day, right? We were going down, delta was going up, they were buying this. I think they continue up with this, and this area is pretty thin right here, so you can get a nice fast move. And I've kind of talked about how it's thin, and I think it can move pretty fast. And then you've got this node up here. You've also got a gap right here from the start of yesterday, and they may fill that. Anything else that I really kind of see on this chart? Your support's down here at this point for pullbacks. Like I said, I don't think it's pulling back at all. I think it's just going to go at this point. And I'm just trying to look through. You get this huge volume node right here. So if somehow we make it to the top of the range, this is going to be a great, probably shorting place for a few points for sure. And I think that's about it. Let's scrunch up the chart a little bit more. And I don't really see anything else to show you. This could be a pump and dump, where they basically try and get everybody else to think that it's going to rally all the way up, and they buy into this. The people down here, right? They need to transfer over shares if they want to get out because of the positive delta. So this could get everybody buying at the open, thinking that it's going all the way to the moon, and they might dump into it. So just be aware of that. Larger time frame, same thing. We're now up and over the bulk of the profile here, and now into testing the bottom of this one. We're pulling back. We'll move up and over, which matches up with this line right here, matches up with this. Probably a little bit of pullback off of that, and then this is pretty thin, right? So it might be a rocket of a day, all the way back up. You've got a good amount of volume right here, a good amount of volume here, and then you've got the spike. And this is, as you kind of scrunch this in, it gets pretty thin as far as the most recently traded volume, with the largest spike being right here. So you kind of have to lean on what's happened most currently, so I tend to profile the big and the small picture, and the smaller picture here is not a lot of volume, right, in this little move right here. So just keep that in mind. Not a lot of trading overnight in reality. You can see, compared to the previous morning, all of this happened, pre-market, and we've only, kind of moved this number of bars. This is a tick chart, so it's kind of based on the amount of activity. So this is my start of my symmetrical swing right here. and we'll see if this works out. There's not a whole lot of chart information or swings back and forth so far to draw anything else, so this is what I'm starting with for the day. And the ranges look pretty good, so again, if it comes back and hits this level, bounce off, 100% range extension. And if we were to just do it real quick, drag that across, look at the range extension. So 100% range extension breaking out of this area would take you right here. That's perfect symmetry in the market for a bounce back, and then it would test across the top of this and then go for another 100% range extension, which would put you right up here on this pivot. This pivot would give you a small pullback probably into this pivot or that pivot, and then you would go. So I hope that kind of helps planning that piece. Boy, I always do that. And then, like I said, there's not a whole lot of volume, so I expect it to move pretty fast through there when it goes. Micro E-mini, if you're new to trading, I think this is a great product right here, this Micro E-mini MES, and low margins and very low risk. So if you want to try and trade real money, trade some of these scalp levels that I present in the morning, that would be the way to do it if you're not real confident. At $12.50 a tick on the ES versus $1.25 on the MES, can really kind of ease your nerves when you're trying to make these trades. But good luck in your trading today, and I'll see you in the afternoon.